Hello and welcome to the VOP Business Show right here on Voice of the People Television. I am Choma Innocent. The Nigerian Ports Authority, NPA, has commenced the evaluation of overtime cargoes at the ports to determine and pave the way for efficient operations at the port. A statement by the NPA said the moves to evacuate overtime cargoes at the ports were intensified when the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Transportation, Dr. Magdalene Ajani, led an interagency team comprising the NPA, the Nigerian Customs and the Nigerian Shippers Council on an assessment tour of overtime cargoes littering the ports. The statement also said that over time, Lagos and the Tinkan Island port complexes and the terminals, including Ikorodu Lighter Terminal, have been occupied with 3,200 units of overtime cars and about 3,295 units of overtime containers, respectively, while the eastern ports have a combined total of 956 overtime containers. According to the statement, the decision to auction the overtime cargoes was agreed upon by stakeholders. The statement also added that to assure transparency and inclusiveness, the modalities to govern the auction process will be finalized by all stakeholders after a similar sensitization meeting with stakeholders in the eastern ports of Warri, Rivers, Onne, and Calabar. Meanwhile, oil marketers yesterday stated that the federal government has so far saved about 400 billion naira as a result of the removal of subsidy on petrol since May 31, 2023, when the initiative was officially implemented. The oil dealers also stated that there was a high possibility for the cost of petrol to rise in July, going by the recent floating of the naira against the United States dollar by the federal government. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, unified the country's exchange rate into the investors and exporters window on June 14, allowing market forces to determine the exchange rate. Now, VOP News gathered that going by the revelation of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, as regards the amount being spent previously on subsidy every month, Nigeria had now saved hundreds of billions after halting the subsidy regime in May this year. The national president of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, Chinedu Okonkwo, stated that marketers had been told how much the NNPCL was spending on subsidy monthly, referring to the comments of the firm's Group Chief Executive Officer, Mele Kyari, during a meeting with the oil sector operators in February. Now, commenting on petrol imports by independent marketers, Okonkwo stated that the oil dealers were holding a meeting. Although he admitted that petrol price would rise in response to forex rate, he also argued that the removal of subsidy would not only lead to a continued increase in PMS costs. Now, the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, MAN, has warned that the recent floating of the naira, which has led to its devaluation, would increase raw materials import costs and reduce import flows. The association stated this in a position document signed by its Director General, Segun Ajayi Kadir. It also noted that flotation could lead to exchange rate volatility and difficulty in predicting future exchange rate movements, which would make planning challenging. Despite these challenges, MAN expressed optimism that floating the naira remained an important step towards resolving the crisis rocking Nigeria's forex market, especially as the official exchange rate was almost at par with the market-determined rate. According to the association, the policy will increase the market efficiency and help return investors' confidence in the economy. Beyond the forex-associated challenges, MAN noted that erratic power supply and the high cost of alternative energy sources were seriously draining the sector. In the meantime, the management of the Lekki Deep Sea Port has announced the arrival of Rimboard, the first transshipment vessel to call at the container terminal of the Deep Sea Port. According to the statement, the vessel was carrying a 411 20-foot equivalent unit of transshipment cargo and had a nominal container handling capacity of 6,900 TEUs. In another development, Nigeria's external reserves fell by 2.8 $2.85 billion in the first half of 2023 due to the external debt finance, amongst other challenges. This is according to figures obtained from the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN. The CBN also revealed in its figures on movement of foreign reserves that the reserves, which commenced on January 3rd, 2023 at $37.07 billion, fell to $34.22 billion as of the end of June 26, 2023. Still, according to the CBN, the reserves fell by $3.43 billion in 2022 from $40.52 billion as of the end of December 31, 2021 to $37.09 billion as of December 29, 2022. At previous Monetary Policy Committee meetings, the former governor of the CBN, Godwin Emefiele, said the committee, however, noted that the marginal decline in the level of gross external reserves to $36.13 billion in February 2023 from $36.4 billion in January 2023. This is a decrease of 0.7%, reflecting the downtrend in crude oil prices as global uncertainties persist. Now, the Center for Marine Surveyors of Nigeria has attributed the frequent boat accidents in the country to the failure of safety and regulatory agencies in the maritime sector. The president of the CMSN, Akin Olaniyan, stated this while reacting to the recent boat accident in Ilorin, Kwara State. He said that the frequency of boat mishaps in the country was becoming worrisome. He urged President Bola Tinubu to mandate the management of government agencies and departments involved in maritime safety to either sit up or be shown the way out. He also claimed that the agencies were more focused on revenue generation than safety standards. According to Olaniyan, the country's maritime safety agencies have changed to financial gatekeepers due to revenue generation, which he said has made them neglect the fundamental reasons for their creation. Now, the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, MAN, has warned that implementation of the proposed hike in electricity tariff by power distribution companies may force more multinational companies to relocate their factories outside Nigeria. MAN President Francis Meshoye, who gave the warning while speaking to newsmen, noted that some international manufacturing firms had already exited the country due to the harsh operating environment, including power crisis, adding that any further hike in tariff would lead to an exodus of companies and further called on the government to reconsider the move. You will recall that various public notices from some of the electricity distribution companies, DISCOs, had stated that the electricity tariff would be raised by about 40% for selected categories of consumers with effect from July 1, 2023. They have, however, backtracked on their earlier announcement of a tariff hike, stating that the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, had yet to approve the hike. And that's all on the VOP Business Show right here on Voice of the People Television. We would like you to subscribe and engage us on YouTube. It is Voice of the People TV. And you can find us on all social media platforms at VOP TV Live. Thank you for joining us. I am Chioma Innocent. To have a good day.